Radio अपना Frankfurt Hello everyone, I'm Raman. I'm the host for you on Apna Frankfurt, where today we are back with a very important discussion. The discussion today is about the state of Nordrhein Westfalen. Yes, the state that has been talk of the town in Germany, the state where coronavirus situation is, according to statistics, the worst in the country. And here we are going to talk about what is the ground reality here. And today we have a special panel who are coming from Nordrhein Westfalen, and thanks to them for taking out the time. So first of all, we have Mr. Prakash Sharma, who is head of Bihar fraternity, and he's currently based in Düsseldorf. Thank you, Prakash, for taking out the time for us.
Thank you, Raman, and namaskar to the listeners of Apna Frankfurt.
Yeah, thank you. So we also have Mr. Shiva Kumar Kota. He's the board member of Telugu Velugu IFAO, and he's from Cologne. Thank you, Shiva, for taking out the time for us.
Andariki namaskaram. I'm from Cologne Telugu Vedika Verein in Cologne, and I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you. And we also have Mr. Abhishek Goswami, who is a former student who studied in Germany, and now he's on job seekers visa, and currently he's living in Nordrhein Westfalen. So thank you, Abhishek, for joining the call with us today.
Hi all, namaste. I am today connecting from Aachen, which is also nearby to the place Heinsberg, which was the first place where coronavirus was detected in Germany.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me to the call.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek, for your time. And yes, you mentioned already Heinsberg. Well, some key facts about Nordrhein Westfalen, what this state is all about. So Nordrhein Westfalen has around 17.9 million residents, and Düsseldorf is the capital of the state. Everybody is aware of this city, very famous city. And the amazing fact is that the 30 out of 81 major cities in Germany are in Nordrhein Westfalen. And in short, we can say it is the most urbanized state in Germany. Well, this state is also worst hit, according to statistics, by coronavirus. And the place Kangelt in Heinsberg that Abhishek just mentioned is actually in the state of Nordrhein Westfalen, where it is believed that on 15th of February, the carnival celebrations led to the mass spread of coronavirus. Well, as of 10th of April, that's today, Robert Koch Institute statistics mentioned that over 23,000 people are infected in this state, and we have 446 deaths in the state of Nordrhein Westfalen. The key question is that the representation of the current state in Nordrhein Westfalen. So on ground, how is the situation in Nordrhein Westfalen today? And in your opinion, has the government taken enough steps to control the spread of coronavirus in the state? So with this key question, I would first like to invite Mr. Prakash to give his opinion on that.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this has been the epicenter of Germany when it comes to the affected due to coronavirus. Every day there is a constant increase in the number of infected cases, and it still continues to be northwards. The government has did a complete lockdown. We are in the 4th week of lockdown, and last 2-3 days we have seen a slight decrease in the number of new cases. But again, this weather is so sunny and so tempting that I've seen people going out, which is again putting at us risk. But again, I mean, as the other regions of Germany are at risk, the same goes with Nordrhein Westphalia. We are under the complete lockdown. Not more than 2 people can go out. We are working from home. The schools are shut down till the Easter.
Yeah. I mean, as you mentioned the word lockdown, I just want to be clear here. Like in India, lockdown means that in some parts of the country, you cannot even come out of the home. But here, at least in Hessen, where I am, it is allowed for the people to go out in the groups of 2. And at least a family can go out. For example, grocery shopping is allowed. So just to clarify, that is also the case in Nordrhein Westfalen. Am I right here, Mr. Prakash?
Yeah. It's the same rule applies here. I mean, not more than 2 people can go together.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. And I see Mr. Shiva Kumar, he wanted to make a point here. Shiva.
Yeah, as Prakash mentioned already, the same applies here also in Cologne. The people are also very supportive for this lockdown, let's say partial lockdown, and the government is doing the best, and in each and every supermarket, you have proper distancing, social distancing markings, and also the supermarket people, they are giving the disinfection metal so that the people will not get infected with some other holding the trolleys. And going to the city offices and so on, they are just locked down, and then but they are doing services with appointment basis. So in Cologne, it's going quite good. So the system is working well and in a very good organized way.
And I think one very important point that I would like to also mention to the listeners and viewers here is the number increase. The number actually indicates that these cases have been detected, and detection is a very important point according to me. And because once you have detected them, you can isolate them so that it does not spread further. And the unknown numbers is not that much when you are actually doing mass tests. And I think that's also the case Germany wide, that the tests are happening at a very fast pace, and that is why we are discovering these numbers. So these are discovered numbers, where I personally feel, and the Germany is doing really good in this matter, right?
Yeah, the people over here are quite responsible, and then supportive each other, and then helping each other. Like myself, like they are neighborhood who are old enough, we help them with some purchase here and then, whether they need something, and then we keep the stuff outside of the houses and so on, just keeping them. And the people over here are very friendly in NRW, I should
Yeah.
say that.
I appreciate that. I mean, this is also part of our culture, that we support elders around us, and this is also something that we have been doing in Frankfurt as well. So thank you here that you are doing this step. Now I would like to ask Mr. Abhishek. Would you like to add something to this, Mr. Abhishek?
I think most of the points Shiva and Prakash covered it. But I saw something interesting the other day, that in terms of restaurants, earlier it was announced that all the the restaurants can still function where delivery option is there, or you can order the food and pick up the food from there. But now recently, at least in the city of Aachen, what the city administration has done, that any restaurant which does not have or cannot facilitate a 6 meter upstand where at least three people can stand there, they are even closing the pickup option also. So
Oh,
if some delivery people are interested to support them, it's fine. Otherwise, many of the restaurants, like yesterday I was out for some appointment, and I saw McD, Subway, these are also closed by the government, and there is a government notice there that since they cannot facilitate that, in a way, how the city administration has taken up the responsibility is quite good. Visa offices are closed.
yeah,
Everything is happening by email or by calls.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that these steps which is taken by the government is helping all of us. And even hats off to the people that they are following these rules strictly. They are following this for the betterment of the people around them and for themselves. And for example, I mean, Indian Minister Herbert Royal from NRW, he even made it clear, doesn't matter who you are, the fines can go as high as 25,000 euros if you are not following the rules. And it's a hard statement to make when you are giving this statement to the people. So I really appreciate, because it's in the favor of the people themselves. Okay, with this, let's move to the next question. And the question is, like, for Indians in NRW, is there a so-called lockdown for them? We know that the German grocery shops are open, and in Frankfurt we have access to Indian groceries as well. There are some online shops as well which are delivering to home. So the question, are the Indian groceries available for Indians in NRW and in the cities where you are? How is the situation on the ground? So maybe we will start this time first with Mr. Shiva here.
That's a good question. We are using the supermarkets, discount markets, which are here from Germany, and then at the same time, we Indians need our Indian grocery shops. In Cologne, the shops are open, and then also nearby Cologne, there is Leverkusen city, which is also having nice Indian shops. And then the Leverkusen shop is already started with the home deliveries on the
Wow.
basis of the request from the associations. We as Verein Cologne Telugu Vedika, now we ourselves are planning for helping the students in and around Cologne. For example, I'm an alumni from Aachen, so we are discussing in our community right now to bring up some support to the students, because this lockdown period is not only affecting the shops in India who are working there, like McD's or whatnot. Like students are supposed to study only, but not work. At the same time, some do for supporting their own personal financial stuff. So we are trying to come up with an initiative to support the Indians, and then we are planning for the NRW students, or maybe at least like step by step,
Yeah.
Cologne, and then after the dark and something like that.
So I
So
think very,
support in terms of it.
very important there that all the associations, they are coming together and helping the Indian community. No, thank you. Prakashi, how is it going in Düsseldorf?
I mean, like German supermarkets, even the Indian stores are open. Some smaller cities like Oberhausen and all, which hosted only one Indian grocery store, they were shut down till last week. But from this week onwards, they have also started executing, and there are some working hour limitations.
Mm-hmm.
But there are few online stores which serve to the entire Germany. So even that is applicable here. So they do deliver to these places as well. Secondly, there are some small stores. They have started even providing service over WhatsApp messages, which is very good. So they do deliver. If you do decent order, they do deliver to your place, and which is quite good.
And I think it's a trend which is happening all across Germany. So all the Indians who are in Germany, if you want to access such services, you can always check in the communities around you, get in touch with the Indian communities, get in touch with the Indian missions. There are organizations which are arranging deliveries to your doorsteps. Please get in touch with them and you will get support there. Moving on to Abhishek. Abhishek, how is it in Aachen with respect to this?
Yeah, in Aachen we have couple of Indian stores here, and not to mention that the German supermarkets are anyways open, like in Cologne or in Düsseldorf or the rest of the Germany. But the Indian stores, yes, they have some limited timings. And recently, from the student association here in Aachen, which is known as ISA, Association of Indian Students in Aachen, we also did a interview with the Indian store, where we try to find out that whether there are proper supplies or not. And it was quite a good to learn from them that yeah, the supply was initially disrupted, but now everything is fine, because the distributor has also understand that the demand is increasing day by day. We don't see any major problems here in terms of the Indian stores, because if you generally speak, Aachen is a student city.
Yeah.
So the Indian community that resides here, I would say 80% is students who are still able to go out and shop for themselves. And if there is some students who are in quarantine or cannot go out, the Indian community here, which is part of ISA, is we are actually helping them out by supplying the groceries or giving them whatever they need, or like just taking their list and going buying out. And the other Indians, the other 20%, they are mostly, I would say, working people. So there is not much, if you see the demography, there is not much older Indians here who cannot go out and shop. So it's a quite a young community, young crowd here in Aachen.
It's good to hear that in the central state NRW, where coronavirus has, according to the statistics, the maximum number of infected people in Germany, the services are still available. So there is nothing to panic about, that we will not get food, we will not have the supplies with us. It's good to hear that we have things available. Yes. Moving on to the next point here. Well, it's unfortunate that this extraordinary condition due to coronavirus has led to the stop of free movement worldwide. We all know people can't go out, we can't travel international, even hotels are not accessible. And India is not a country which is not impacted by this. There is no international commercial carrier that can fly to India till 14th of April. And here it leads to some concerns with a certain section of Indians in Germany, because they feel they are stuck in Germany. And yes, to a certain extent, I agree with them, because there are valid reasons. But then the question is, how can they deal with such a situation here in such circumstances? Any word of opinion from your side? What would you like to tell them? So here I would first like to start with Abhishek. Abhishek, anything from your side? I know you are also a job seeker in this situation. So how does it impact also the other job seekers here?
Yeah, so I just graduated in the month of India, in the month of January, and then I went to India. And then when I come back, the coronavirus was already ahead of me in my job search. So I am searching for a couple of months. What I feel that yes, currently the commercial airspace is closed and traveling is banned, but uh, in case of emergency, there is not much that we can do. We had also had some emergencies here in Aachen, which we had addressed, but at the end of the day, till at least till 14th of April, there is no chance of flying back. So I would say that in these difficult times, we have to stay together and we have to take the help of the Indian community here in Germany. Uh, Since I am also a student and a job seeker, I would like also to highlight that there were some concerns from the students that they don't have money to pay the rent or something. But somehow I am in Aachen. I can speak of Aachen. Students are able to manage on their own because still part-time jobs are available. So I'm also working, and it's okay actually. While we work, we maintain proper 2 meter upstand, and
Yeah.
we have gloves and masks.
So I think, yeah, it's a good insight on how things are there. Moving on to Düsseldorf, to Mr. Prakash here. Prakashi, would you like to mention something?
Yeah, I mean, we have been getting, since Behalf Fraternity has a presence all over Germany, and we do have representatives, in almost each major city. So we get lots of queries on daily basis, mostly from these Indian students. I mean, I do tell them on personal basis, but I do need to tell them via your medium as well, that we are better placed. It's not like that. Still, there's nothing. We are not in a position where evacuation is needed. So we still, that panic button need not be pressed. That's the only medicine. Be where you are. So, but if somebody really is in a desperate situation in Germany, they should reach us. We'll see what can be done. Because in general, they should not panic. We are still better placed, and everything is in order. Even as Abhishek said, I don't think the students still would be under the money crunch. Even if they are, at least in the people who are directly associated with our foreign, we have told them, we have assured them that in case you need any funding and there is no other resort, we are even ready to help you to the extent as far as possible.
Yeah,
So
yes. And I think very, very important point there. People who are intending to travel to India, yes, they have valid reasons. I mean, and they have every right to ask their government for support in this time. It's not that the government doesn't want to support them. It's just that the situation is like that, that for the
yes.
benefit of the bigger mass, there are some hard decisions that the government has to take. And here, again, I request everyone to be in touch with Embassy of India in Berlin. They are making every effort possible to address the needs of the people. One important point is, yes, their reasons are valid. They have urgencies, but somewhere you have to bear the responsibility of the bigger mass there. And it's like you are a soldier. You are protecting your country. You have to take some certain extra steps here to make sacrifices on your level to protect your country. And here it becomes very important that we bear that responsibility. And at the same time, yes, you have every right to ask the government to support you. Yeah. Your ask is right. I mean, you will ask your government to support you. Your ask is right. There, it's nothing wrong that you make that appeal. The government is working on solving everybody's problems by considering the bigger mass at the same time. And here, yes, the communication has to be open. The dialogue has to be open. And when it is the first opportunity where such a opportunity will be there that you can travel back to the country, I think the government will definitely allow them to fly back to India, because that's their home, and nobody can stop you from going to home when the time is right.
Yeah.
So summarizing on this point, all basic facilities in Germany, as we understand, are available. There is a risk involved in traveling back to India. Doesn't make their request invalid. The requests are valid. The government is looking into their request. and the first opportunity will be provided to them to fly back to India, and we are with them in that. But while this is not happening, if they need any kind of support, I think all organizations, even Embassy of India, consulates, they are open to listen to them, they are open to support them. And from Apna Frankfurt, I also invite them, if they need any kind of support, they can reach out to Apna Frankfurt, and the whole team is available for them. Okay, now let's move to the next point here. Coronavirus pandemic, we all are going through this. So how do you see the world beyond coronavirus pandemic? What will be the two major learnings that the world has to take away from this coronavirus situation that we have today?
Yeah, one thing I would like to say here is that with this pandemic, we have learned that we always have to keep our like backup strong. So I saw some students, they were telling they have to sleep in couch. They don't have money to buy groceries. Actually, it should not be, because once you enter into into this country, you have to have a blocked account, and it's the responsibility of the student. He or she should arrange the fund, and it's not the government's mistake. It's nobody's mistake actually. Things get extended here because of the pattern of the course and everything. That is one point. We always have to keep a backup, that if something goes wrong, we still have a plan B. And I feel that, yeah, social distancing and doing everything within the limits, this is what this pandemic has taught us.
Moving on to Mr. Prakash from Düsseldorf. Prakashji.
One first thing is, on the communication front, the world should know that there are bigger enemies than the countries, the nations, and we should be more collaborative, more open to communication, more open to dialogues. Second thing is, especially in India, we'll see much more digitalization, never before like that kind of thing. So work from home, many companies will be weighing in whether this is a viable option. This really results, it's a profitable thing. We are saving much on the logistics front as well. So they will be weighing these options as well in the future, and they might even offer, because many companies are still very lenient on work from home options. But this time they have enough parameters to judge whether this might help in the long run, might reduce some logistic costs as well. So they will also weighing on this front.
Yeah, no, I think very valid point there, that we are now exploring the options that we were hesitant in exploring before, and we are actually seeing that these options can work. So yes, I am completely with you there, that yes, we might be actually seeing a newer world when this pandemic gets over. So thank you, Prakashji, for your opinion there, and I think it's very important input for all of us here. So now let's listen from Mr. Shiva. Mr. Shiva, what would you like to add to this here?
From me, the first point would be like, till now, the people who are affected is being treated by the public sector people, for example, the police and doctors, nurses, and the sector people. They were not given the respect which they were supposed to be given in the past. So at least now the people should know who are working for the tax system, and then they should be given respect. And then the second one would be, all these are coming because of the immunity. So one should take the point is, with this lockdown and then spending time with the family and so on, learn a good diet, and then learn how to keep 30 minutes out of your schedule for fitness, so that one can be fit for the future.
Yeah.
So these are the two things:
funding
and being immune.
Yeah. And I think we all have learned who are the real true superheroes for all of us. They are not the superheroes that we see in the movies. The superheroes are around us, who are helping us to save lives for all of us. And a big thanks to them from all of us, that they are stepping up for us and taking care of us in such critical times. And well, thank you for all these important messages. And I think it's very helpful for all our listeners and viewers to be aware of these points. Now, coming towards the last part of the call, I would now request Prakash ji to maybe give a short message for all our listeners and viewers.
Yeah, especially to the Indians living in Germany, irrespective from which part of India you come from, irrespective of what your social or financial status is here. Do reach to us. Don't hesitate. Don't think whether we will be able to help or not, but do reach to us. do let us know. We are there to help you in whatever possible way.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you, Prakashji. And now moving to Abhishek. Abhishek, a message from you.
Uh, yeah, I would like to say to all that please stay together whenever you are in problem. In the first line of contact, we associations are there. Reach us first, and we will make sure that your concerns are raised to the appropriate body. Other than that, I would say stay safe, stay at home, which is the most important thing now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. Shiva, what are your message to the people?
Don't get panic by seeing wrong messages in WhatsApp, because people are hanging around most of the time in Facebook and WhatsApp. So do check the liability of the messages, and then if you have any question, please reach out the organizations, Indian embassies, our local authorities and governments, and reach out help for the doctors with the proper precautions, whatever the system says. Please follow the rules and stay home and stay healthy.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I think very important message there as well. No fake news. Say no to fake news. Don't spread it further. If you are receiving it, don't spread it further if you are not sure if the source is authentic or not. So ask yourself, do I really believe this? Do I know exactly if this is an authentic news? And then spread it out. Again, stay in touch with all the Indian missions. In case you have questions, you have concerns, you can approach them anytime. You can approach the associations around you. You can approach Apna Frankfurt. We are there to provide help to you. And a big thanks to German authorities and Indian missions in Germany who are helping all of us in this situation. A very big thanks to them. Thanks to all the doctors, nurses, police, and people who are running grocery stores. Everyone who is putting in efforts to make sure that we are provided all we need in these hard times. A big thanks to them. Again, thanks to all the listeners of Apna Frankfurt for reaching out to us. Thanks to all of you for taking out the time to talk to us today, to spread the awareness, to spread the positive message. Thanks a lot. And we definitely will be in touch once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Radio Apna Frankfurt.